again, back with another video of Love is Blind Season 8, Episodes 10 through 12. You may be wondering, but Marissa, your last video was Episodes 7 and 8. Where's Episode 9? The most dramatic episode of the whole season up until this point. Here's the thing. I have been having what I would call, and what doctors would call, panic attacks for like weeks straight now. So, we've been having a tough time. Who's we? Me and my multiple mental illnesses. But before I jump into episode 10, I will do a quick recap of episode 9. Dave and Lauren, same bullshit. Same bullshit we've been seeing the entire time. Dave meets some of Lauren's friends. They're trying to reassure him that, hey, no, Lauren was not dating this guy. We never met him. It was not a relationship like that. Also, this is the guy. I'll put a picture of the guy. Lauren. I know looks aren't everything, but he's really trying to milk this whole thing and try to get himself on TV out of it. So he sucks as a person too. So I think it's fine to say, damn, girl, come on. Ben and Sarah. Sarah meets Ben's friends. It goes well. I know people say like these are paid actors to hype up Ben, but they seem fine. I think they're real people. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and take a strong stance. I think those are human beings that he knew in real life. We also have the infamous TikTok drama that's been going on revealed this episode. And basically we see that a woman from TikTok, I guess the girl heard that Ben was going to be on this season, and during filming made a TikTok about how these terrible men need to stop getting exposure and stop getting put on these shows because they're terrible men. And Sarah sees this and she's like, I wonder who they're talking about. And Ben's just like, it's me. That's me. No, I know her. Yeah. No, that's Becky. She's pissed. But he just tells Sarah, hey, this was 4 years ago. We went on a few dates. It wasn't serious. I ghosted her. Maybe that's why she's pissed. But I don't remember anything about the relationship. I think the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. But I also think Ben is probably downplaying how much he hurt her. And she may be a little excessive in the impact that it really had on her life. But again, who the fuck am I? And just like everything else, Sarah is happy to listen to him explain away any of these issues. And she's just like, got it, cool. Okay, I'll take that concern, like the many that I've had so far, and just, pew, no more. Virginia and Devin. They go to meet Devin's parents. Devin's family, similar to Dave, is far too invested in his life. She's asking questions like, she's saying things like, you are getting a little up there in age. Are you going to start having kids soon? And asks about financial stuff. And I'm like, do these people not know that their sons and brothers are grown fucking men? Why are you asking them questions like this? You don't think they can make those choices and decisions about their partners for themselves? And if they can't, they shouldn't be getting married. And you didn't raise a man, you raised a boy that grew into a big boy. That's your fault. And his. Grow up. What the fuck? They have a pet pig. The pet pig is very cute. I really like it. I'm not going to mention anything right now, but this is what Devin's mom looks like. Just mentioning that. We'll come back to it in a later episode. Daniel and Taylor. In this episode, Daniel and Taylor, they meet both of their parents. They meet Devin. Too many D names. They meet Daniel's parents. It goes very well. They're very supportive, very kind. Cool parents. They meet Taylor's parents. Not as cool, not as down. Not her dad. Her dad is super down. He's the one that's been having some health issues recently. And I think at some point maybe they didn't know if he was going to make it. So the dude is genuinely just happy to be alive. He's like, just happy to be here. Still kicking. You want to marry her? All right with me. Like, he's just a happy man. He's having a grand old time breathing. Her mom is strangely selfish in this moment. She's like, you didn't think how this would impact me, not being there for an engagement? No, you freak. What is wrong with these families? Butt out. Sometimes I have to text my mom to just make sure she's alive. I'm like, hey, it's been weeks. You good? And she's like, yup. But Daniel's parents meet Taylor's parents. It's cute. They get along, and I think that puts Taylor's parents at ease a little bit, at least her mom. Joey and Monica. They're not in this episode a lot. They mostly just debrief about meeting her family and how her sister was so goddamn bitter. And Joey's like, well, do you think she thinks anybody is good enough for you? And that maybe a little bit of jealousy is seeping in? And Monica's like, yeah, I think that's actually pretty much what it is. And that's about all they talk about. All right. Episode 10. Now we're getting to the meat and potatoes, okay? Now we're getting to dinner. This whole season's been a goddamn appetizer. Now we're starting to get to a meal. Monica and Joey. So they meet up with Monica's sister for a little photo shoot. Maybe Netflix edited the photos they put on screen. These photos are ass. I'm sure Monica's sister was like, this would be great promo for my photography business. Not with those edits. Holy moly. I did photography in high school for the yearbook. And even those, I think would have been discarded. I think our yearbook editor would have been like, yeah, those are cute. Fucking straight to the delete file. I really appreciate that Monica wants to squash this beef, this fake beef, between Joey and her sister. She's like, I want everyone to be good. Let's just address it right now, and not just you guys talk through me like a game of telephone. Let me bring all of us together in one place and talk this out. And it went well. Dave. And this is very productive. Her sister admits, yeah, I maybe jumped the gun a little bit. I think I'm just very protective of my sister, and I was quick to judge you when I shouldn't have. I think you're actually a really good guy. Joey wears very colorful pants. I'm not a fan of that. He also dabs. He's 30 and he's having a good time. He seems nice. I won't dog on him too much. We have so many shitty men this season that Joey, hey, he's one of the good ones. We'll leave him be. Ben and Sarah. I really enjoyed this episode for Ben and Sarah. Not for them. Not for them. They again do just a quick little chit chat about the TikTok drama. It is truly nothing. She's just like, I just want to make sure you're not, playing me. I want to make sure you're not lying about hurting this girl. And he's like, I'm not. And she's like, cool, got it. That's all I needed to know. Girl, investigate a little bit, right? It's funny how much he rationalizes for himself. Like, yeah, I'm a good guy. My family knows, you've seen, I'm a good guy. This was years ago. I've changed. He just has so much that he's like making it better with. And she also rationalizes for him. She's like, yeah, you are a good guy. Yeah, I do know you. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm going to put all of the worries I have, not even give any validation to them, and just push them aside because there's no way they can be real concerns. They meet Sarah's sister Lisa and her partner. I forgot her partner's name. I think it's Kelly, Cassie, Casey. One of those. Sorry, girl. Loved you in this episode. Her sister and her sister's partner can see straight through this bullshit with X-ray vision. It is amazing. They ask Sarah, they're like, okay, he goes to church. You're not religious. And he's like, very religious. And Sarah's like, yeah, but I'm open to like seeing about it. And like, if they have a faith that lines up with what I believe in. And then her sister and her partner are just like, right. And what about the political thing? Sarah brings up how she, like Ben, feels financially conservative but socially liberal. And again, the sister and partner go, what the fuck are you talking about? Who's this woman? Hey bitch, you left for 2 weeks. Who the fuck returned in your place? Because it ain't you. They're like, people like that vote against people like us, gay people, women. They're gonna vote against disabled people, old people, people with medical issues. But thank God they're gonna lower our taxes, right? That's who you're okay with him voting for and voting like? And Sarah's like, well, I really appreciate how much they just were not willing to go along with it just to appease Sarah. They said to her face, like, we don't like this guy for you. You don't align. Maybe you have fun. Because that's Sarah's thing. We have fun. He's glass half full. We have a vivacious life. And the sister and her partner are like, whoop de fucking do. At the end of the day, you have fundamental different beliefs and values. You can find a million people who will laugh with you, live, laugh, love with you. But when it comes down to what you believe in and what you hold valuable as a person, you're willing to bend and flex that for some dude? Please, God. Please, God. Get this man the fuck out of my face. Sarah is weak in her values. They better not get married. Don't piss me off. Devin and Virginia. So in this episode, they meet Virginia's mom. Virginia's mom has a lot of great questions for them. I don't remember any of them, but she did. Also, at one angle, at one point, when Devin looked into the camera, I realized who I think he looks like. This whole season, I've been trying to figure out who he looks like. Guys, it's Gypsy Rose. Devin looks like Gypsy Rose. Don't even try to fight with me. Don't try to fight me. You have no argument. It is correct. When they talk, Devin and Virginia, it just feels like two AI chatbots going back and forth. Nothing feels authentic. It just doesn't feel like humans communicating. Later in the episode, while they're laying in bed, Devin and Virginia finally, however many weeks, discuss politics. And here's where we find out that Devin is a conservative. From a conservative Republican family. I'm going to bring back this picture of his mother. That's all I'm going to say. It's interesting because Devin immediately, the same way we saw him get disgusted and immediately turn off from Brittany when she mentioned having a relationship with women, when Virginia mentions that she thinks women should have the rights to their own body, the exact same thing happens. He shuts down and you can see the disgust on his face. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. You're a loser, Devin. $700 for a pair of shoes, an ibuprofen addiction, that fucking hairline, and the audacity to think that a man has any goddamn say in what happens with a woman's body. How about go to hell? How about Jesus would hate you, Devin? How about Jesus would be disgusted with you, you nasty fucking freak? Anyways, whoa. Sorry, got a little upset there. I just hate when men are idiots and bigots. Sorry. And again, Virginia seems to be okay with all of this and going, yeah, no, I see how, yeah, that aligns with your faith. Because he's like, well, do you vote in alignment with your faith? You think Jesus would have voted for Trump? Maybe you do. And that's what the fuck is your problem. That's what's wrong with you. But, again, like I said, Virginia's okay with it. She's like, yeah, no, I see your side. Virginia, you have weak values. Taylor and Daniel. We don't see Taylor and this entire episode, we see Taylor and Daniel for about 5 minutes. Because they are chilling. We don't see them until 30 minutes into the episode. And they're doing putt-putt. Really, all they talk about is they're just stressed about wedding planning and trying not to think about wedding planning during work. That's it. Dave and Lauren. They're still, not they. Dave is still on the hookup bullshit. Can't get over it. Can't fucking get over it. He's been avoiding Lauren. He won't talk to her. He won't see her. He's not sleeping at their apartment. Lauren is trying so hard to make this work. To coddle Dave. And be like, what else do you need? She is trying so hard. And he is trying so hard to get the fuck out of this situation. Dave, just leave. Dave has no fucking balls. Dave wanted to leave the second he heard about that hookup. The second he heard about the hookup happening too close for his comfort to the start of the show, he wanted to leave, but he doesn't have the fucking balls to do it. Just like he didn't have the balls to break up with Molly, so she basically did it for him. He's a loser. all the men this season suck except for Daniel, which is a crazy happening. I thought Daniel was a fucking weirdo Trumper. Turns out he's the best dude the whole season. Joey's fine too. They meet Lauren's mom, and Lauren's mom lets him know, hey, Taylor's dad isn't going to be here, but not because there's anything against Lauren or you, but because he doesn't like to be on camera. Dave says, yeah, no, my dad also probably won't meet up with us because he's busy golfing. He definitely told his dad, like, no, Dad, don't worry, this isn't gonna happen, don't worry about coming on camera. But he doesn't want to say that, because he doesn't want to look like an asshole on camera. Even though, hey, you're the biggest asshole this whole season. Nice try, dipshit. It is crazy that even though the producers know this relationship is on the fritz, they send them bowling. They can't just have a private dinner in their apartment or something. They're like, why don't you guys go bowling and fight? Again, Dave brings up how his sister would be so disappointed in him and how his sister is upset about this whole situation. Dave's sister just controls his life because he's a little bitch boy. We end episode 10 with them deciding to take this fight to a new location. Episode 11. Move on to Dave and Lauren, and they are now in an empty movie theater. And guys, they break up. Finally! God damn. Again, David is a big bitch baby that cannot break up with someone, so has to be so shitty and push her away so far to then force her to be the one to break up. He kind of says, like, yeah, I can't do this anymore, but she has to be like, yeah, you obviously can't get over the fact that I had a fling before I came on the show. You are so insecure about that you've ruined this whole entire thing, even though I have repeatedly reassured you that I want to be with you. Dave didn't have the balls to say this to her face, but he said it to the camera later after she left. He was able to admit that it was his ego that got in the way, and he ruined the whole thing because he couldn't get over that she saw some dude before she came on the show. Why he couldn't say that to her face? Well, because he's a coward. Lauren has spent 90% of her screen time on this show crying. I was getting a little harsh on her, being like, you know what, we're this far, she deserves what she gets. She's being a little pathetic. She needs to not be so agreeable. She should know her worth. And my girlfriend was great to point out that, hey, between leaving the pods and here has been like a week or two. She's just trying her best to make it work. I don't know if we've given her enough time to reach pathetic level. And I was like, you're right. She was truly just putting in a lot of effort. See what happens when you listen to your partner, Dave? You go, oh, you know what? I didn't see it from that perspective. Thank you for pointing that out to me. We have made it to the all-cast gathering. Historically a messy episode. Not in this one, really. It was fine. A little. It was messy, but not even for the contestants that are currently on the show. It was messy for, like, the people that are no longer on the show. First off, all the couples that are still on the show get to do this, like, tubing thing down this snow on these huge slides. Very jealous. That's the only, like, group activity I've seen them do on this show where I go, I want to be there. So all the boys on the show get together, they talk about their struggles, their outside influences, and social media getting in the way, and the girls just talk about how they're excited to take the men's last names. Hey ladies, I know you didn't know this at the time. Go ahead and don't take your man's last name anymore. With this administration, just for legal reasons, for your safety, go ahead and keep that last name. Lauren shows up a little later on, and the girls are very comforting to her. It's very nice to see. Love that we got a lot of girls this season. Good for them. Then we have Molly. Molly in the motherfucking building. Let's go. Molly grew on me a lot throughout the pods, but in this episode specifically, I love Molly. I'd get down on a knee for Molly. Dave, you fumbled too, you fucking loser. We also have Brittany show up. Beautiful as always, looking poised as ever. So glad to see her. Lauren and Molly talk. Lauren kind of fills her in on what's happened, that her and Dave have broken up. She talks to her about the whole issue with sleeping with some guy before the show and how that just, Dave could not get over that, like the giant man child that he is. And Molly is very supportive, very empathetic. She's like, yeah, I don't understand how he wouldn't have your back, how he wouldn't defend you against his friends and family that are saying things about you when they don't know you and he does. Why wouldn't he defend you? I really want Molly and Lauren to get a great friendship out of this. I also want them to kiss, but that's because I'm gay. Molly also tells Lauren that few weeks ago when she saw him at a bar, someone told Molly that there was a girl all over Dave. I think that's a fucking lie. I don't think that's true. I think maybe Dave was all over a girl and he was the one engaging. He was the one pursuing. We've seen how Dave acts. Not exactly a ladies' man. And remember, Dave said that his last serious relationship ended because he cheated on her. Dave, are you projecting? They also make fun of his Instagram, all of his selfies and his stupid photos on Instagram. I love a shit talk session. I love when shit talking on some loser man brings two women together. It is a beautiful thing. People say childbirth is the most magical thing to experience. I think this was. I think seeing both of them dog on this man and become closer, it warmed my heart. Brittany and Devin talk. And again, Brittany says, I think you and Virginia are great together. She says he looks like a baby. Please stop telling this obviously in his mid-30s man, who's actually 28, that he looks young. He does not. But Brittany still stands on her business. She tells Devin, you were really immature. When I opened up to you about something that was hard for me to open up about, I could feel your disgust through the wall, you know? And he's like, huh. Okay. He doesn't acknowledge it at all. Doesn't apologize. He's just like, if that's how you feel. Whatever. Again, they're friends. I'm making it sound like there was a lot more animosity between them. There wasn't. But I wish there were. Because he deserves it. Mason and Meg show up together? Holding hands? Oh. Now, Meg, last time we saw you, I was giving you your props for walking away from this man. Meg. It's fine. It's really fine. I do think Meg and Mason always had a better actual connection on the show than Mason and Madison. I think Mason just liked talking dirty to Madison. Dirty. Weird. Flirty, whatever. But yeah, I guess after the show, Mason and Meg immediately reached out to each other once they got their phones back and have been connected ever since. They even did their own little pretend reveal, which is kind of cute. I'm sure they sit around and talk about Joe Rogan and aliens and are banging all the time. So I'm sure they're having a good time. Good for them. If they're happy and healthy, good for them. Madison shows up as well. She talks about how she is perfectly fine not being with Mason or Alex. It is not a problem to her. She's like, hey ladies, I didn't miss out on much. Okay. And apparently, Alex begged Madison to meet him at the airport when they got their phones back and he saw what she looked like. And they did. They met at the airport and Alex tried to basically convince her to give him a chance, even though she was like, you just dumped me in the ponds, but now that you see all this, you want to make it work. And good for her. She stood on her shit. She said no. And she said that when she asked his real opinion on Mason, he said, fuck Mason. Oh, so we have a different persona on camera, Alex, as to not look like the bad guy. You were trying to play all sides to look good for the camera. Also, I've seen the allegations about Alex, and not good. Not good, buddy. Dave and Molly talk, and again, Molly stands up for Lauren in this moment more than Dave did the entire fucking season. She's like, you said you pushed people away. You had people talking in your ear, and you did not defend your fiance an ounce. And he's like, yeah, but, and she's like, no. You should have been there for her. You said you chose her, that you love her, that you're going to be there for her. And you didn't do any of that. You backed up none of that. Molly does not let him get out of this at all. She calls him on all of his bullshit, and it is beautiful to witness. Good for you, Molly. Molly, I think I'm in love with Molly. Hold on. Molly and Brittany, ladies, I'm in a relationship. Committed and loving and healthy. However, if anything ever happens, Dave talks to Lauren towards the end. He is drunk. He is fucked up. He's like, I really like picking away. And you know, it's not what you're supposed to do. It's not what you do when you love someone. And I really loved you. It's real. I swear to God, it sounded just like that.
I wanted to like just like text you and be like, "You okay? I care so much about you." And it felt so bad. I was just like, "That's all I
Like, you
wanted."
didn't text me.
And he almost kind of wants them to try again or something. He's like, it was real. I should have done this, that, and the other. But you didn't text me. But good for Lauren for, again, gentle parenting this man. And going, no, I tried a lot. You tried 0. And she's like, we're not doing this again. We see our couples a little bit after this, before we leave the episode. We see Ben and Sarah. Ben and Sarah go to a church service. It's interesting. I love that they brought one of Ben's friends with them for some reason. So it's just Sarah, Ben, and Ben's friend. And at one point, they're centering on Ben and Sarah the whole time. And then at one point, they just slowly pan over to his friend sitting there, just like third wheeling it. Like a fucking sitcom. What are we doing? Love is Blind. But afterwards, Sarah's like, I didn't love it. I mean, I feel like they have like a lot of traditional values about like man and woman. And also the service talked about like encouraging the people you love to find Christ. Hey, don't do that. Hey, leave people alone. That's the most annoying shit you could possibly do. Nothing would make me want to go to church less than I already do. Than someone trying to make me go to church. Don't do that shit. But even though she didn't love it, she says she'd give it a shot again. Girl. Devin and Virginia, go dancing. It was like 30 seconds. They're not good dancers. Neither am I, but I'm just saying, neither are they. Takes one to know one. Bad dancers. Taylor and Daniel make Christmas cards. Very cute. They wear their little reveal outfits. I hope they get to send those cards out. They've been chilling. I haven't had a lot to say about them because they're just that couple that's doing so well, they get no screen time. And then I skipped the dress and the suit fittings. I do not care. I saved 30 minutes of my life. I don't watch those. I'm sure you can find someone else that talks about them. Good for them. I don't watch them in any season. I fast forward every dress and suit fitting. Episode 12. Episode 12. Thank God. Episode 12 opens up with Daniel and Taylor at an ice skating rink. They're going ice skating. It's very cute, very sweet. And then they have a little dinner table in the middle of the ice rink and all the lights are like off. It's a cute setting. But they make them walk across the ice in their regular shoes to get to the table. And I'm like, are we watching Parks and Rec? What is it? They're shuffling.
I'm holding the dog. He is peeing. He is now peeing.
They're still very happy. They seem very excited about the wedding. I did not think I would end up not only rooting for this couple, but having them turn into maybe my favorite couple of the season. They've just been kind and supportive to each other. Who would have thought? Hey, who would have thought? Not me. Monica and Joey spent their last date night at this nice conservatory. It's very pretty, very beautiful. This is where we do see Monica tell us that she feels like she's kind of holding back because she feels like Joey is holding back. And I was like, oh, that's interesting, because I feel like this couple is so communicative and just kind of likes to address things right there as they come up. So that was interesting that she didn't feel comfortable just saying, hey, how are you feeling about everything? I haven't heard you say, I'm 100% in, I'm all in. Are you? She does a little more slyly. She kind of brings up, she goes, what are your love languages? Just wondering I don't have any agenda. And she brings up that her love language, one of them, is words of affirmation. She likes to be reassured. She likes to be told, hey, it's you. It's all you. All the time. So it's interesting that we're seeing a little bit of communication fall off between them. Ben and Sarah, they spend their last date night in this like glamping. They do glamping. And again, same old song and dance. We talk about church, how Sarah didn't love the church experience they had, but then maybe, Ben's like, maybe we can find a different church that we both like, and da-da-da. Throughout the whole experience, I mean, Sarah does say things that makes it sound like she's looking at future things, but Ben really does. Ben speaks like they're required to get married, and he's making plans for afterwards. So again, kind of, I don't know, we're seeing a bit of falling off with some of the women here towards the end. Ben farts in the tent. That was pretty funny. You can't fart in a tent. An unventilated nylon tent. Yeah, it's gonna go ahead and just suck you into a vacuum. That's all fart air now, by the way. Devin and Virginia, they go on a carriage ride. They talk about nothing at a volume so low it's truly undetectable to humans. Virginia does this. Yeah. And Devin does this. It's like Sims speaking on the lowest volume on your fucking TV. I can't. What? What are you saying? But it doesn't matter, because even if you can hear them, it's of no substance. Virginia asks again, do you need to talk about anything before we get married? Are you questioning anything? Are you wondering about anything? Girl, are you? And she's talking about the prenup. She wants to know his thoughts on the prenup. Finally, Devin comes back. He's like, okay, I had my lawyer and my mommy. Look it over, and they said it's okay. He does. He's like, yep. Basically, it says we leave with whatever we came in with, including our own debt. And she's like, yeah, dude, that's what I've been telling you. He's like, I just had to let my mommy look it over. I can't really read. I just webble. He still asks her. He's like, so what would you say to someone? Sorry, let me talk like Devin. So what would you say to someone that says like, why wouldn't they prenup? And I'll translate that in case you can understand. That's him asking why they would need a prenup if they love each other. How they're going to explain that to other people. He understands and he feels comfortable with it. But how would they explain it to other people? And for the 5,000th time, Virginia says, and to translate for her, she says, it's just kind of more of an insurance thing, a reassurance thing that we're planning for. Hoping for the best, planning for the worst. I don't think they need dance lessons. I think they need fucking speech therapy. I skipped the bachelor and bachelorette parties. Again, I don't care. The men go play football. The women dress up like old ladies and go to Mall of America. I would have rather done the old ladies in Mall of America. We end the episode at Ben and Sarah's wedding. They take us right up to the end of the altar where we get them. They read their thing. Will you be with him and you be with her? If yeah, say I will. I will? Is I do licensed? I want to say Sarah goes first. And I've heard the rumors of what happens and what she says. But I don't know. And I don't want to spoil anything. We'll have to see this Friday. Oh! Thank you so much for sticking by my side through this fucking mess of a season. I appreciate everyone that's commented on the videos, liked, that have subscribed from the videos. Thank you so much. I have, while this has been a torturesome experience, I have had fun making these videos. Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment of who you think is going to get married. My predictions, Ben and Sarah, no. Monica and Joey, yes. Taylor and Daniel, yes. Virginia and Devin, no. We'll have to see if these predictions are correct. Anyways, thanks for watching. Au revoir!